the kind sparrow. In a quiet village next to a big forest, there lived a little sparrow named Pip. Pip was a small bird with brown feathers and shiny eyes. He was kind and loved helping others. While other birds were busy looking for food or playing, Pip always looked for ways to help his friends. Everyone in the village and the forest knew him for his kindness. Each morning, Pip flew over the village and forest, singing cheerful songs. His voice was sweet and made everyone feel happy. One sunny day, Pip was flying high when he saw a butterfly on the ground. The butterfly's wings were torn, and she was trying to fly, but she couldn't. Pip flew down quickly and asked, "Are you okay?" "Why can't you fly?" The butterfly looked sad and said, "A big storm came last night. The wind was so strong that it hurt my wings. Now I can't fly back to my home." Pip thought for a moment. He didn't want to leave the butterfly alone. "I will help you," Pip said. "You can ride on my back, and I will take you home." The butterfly smiled and climbed onto Pip's back. Pip started to fly slowly through the forest. It was a long journey and Pip was small, but he didn't stop. The butterfly's home was far away, but Pip didn't complain. He knew he had to help. After flying for a long time, they finally reached a big flower field where the butterfly lived. The butterfly was so happy. She thanked Pip and said, "You are very kind. I will never forget what you did for me. One day I will help you too." Pip smiled and flew back to his nest, feeling proud of himself. He loved helping others. Days passed, and Pip continued his usual routine, helping his friends in the forest. He helped a squirrel gather acorns, showed a family of rabbits the way home, and even sang to cheer up an old owl who was feeling lonely. One afternoon, as Pip was helping a squirrel carry some nuts to her tree, the sky started to change. Dark clouds gathered above, and the wind became stronger. Pip looked up and knew a storm was coming. "I have to get home," he thought. He said goodbye to the squirrel and quickly flew toward his nest. But the wind was too strong. It pushed Pip off his path. He tried to flap his wings harder, but the wind was much stronger than him. Rain started to pour down, and Pip was soon wet and cold. The trees shook, and the leaves flew everywhere. Pip was scared. He was far from his nest, and he didn't know where to go. The storm was getting worse. Pip saw a large tree and decided to take shelter under it. He was shivering from the cold and felt very alone. "I wish I could find my way home," he whispered to himself. Just as he was about to give up, he heard a soft voice calling, "Pip! Pip! Where are you?" Pip looked up, surprised. It was the butterfly. She had brought many of her friends with her ladybugs, bees, dragonflies, and even a few ants. They all gathered around Pip, forming a circle to keep him warm and safe from the rain. The butterfly gently landed next to him and said, "Don't worry, Pip. We're here to help you just like you helped me." Pip felt a wave of warmth in his heart. He wasn't alone after all. The butterfly had kept her promise, and now her friends were here to help him. Together they waited until the storm passed. The butterfly and her friends kept Pip safe and warm the entire time. When the sky finally cleared and the rain stopped, Pip looked around at his new friends. "Thank you all," Pip said with a smile. "You saved me," the butterfly smiled back and said, You were kind to me when I needed help. Now it is my turn to be kind to you. This is what friends do." Pip realized something important that day. Kindness always comes back to you when you need it most. Even though Pip was small, his kind actions made a big difference in the lives of others. And now, when he needed help, his kindness came back to him in the form of his new friends. After the storm, Pip flew back to his village with a happy heart. He knew that no matter how small you are, being kind can make a huge difference. From that day on, Pip continued helping others, but now he also knew that kindness was like a circle. When you are kind, it always finds a way to return to you. One morning, weeks after the storm, Pip was flying over the forest again. This time, he saw a young rabbit stuck in a thorn bush. The rabbit was scared and didn't know how to get out. Pip flew down and said, "Don't worry, little rabbit, I'll help you." With his small beak, Pip carefully pulled the thorns away, one by one. Soon, the rabbit was free. The rabbit thanked Pip with a big smile and hopped away happily. Later that day, while resting on a tree branch, Pip thought about how wonderful it felt to help others. Even though it took effort and time, the joy of knowing he made someone's life better was worth it. As the seasons changed and winter approached, Pip knew that life in the forest would become harder. The cold winds would blow, and food would be harder to find. But Pip wasn't worried. He knew that in times of need, kindness would always bring help. Just as he had helped others, others would help him. One frosty morning, Pip woke up to see the forest covered in a blanket of snow. The trees were bare, and the ground was frozen. Pip was feeling a bit cold and hungry. He flew around looking for food, but the snow had covered everything. His tiny stomach growled. As he sat on a branch, wondering what to do, he heard a rustling sound. It was the squirrel he had helped before. She was carrying a small acorn in her paws. "Here, Pip," she said. "I saved this for you. You helped me gather nuts before, and now I want to share with you." Pip's eyes filled with gratitude. He ate the acorn happily, feeling the warmth of the squirrel's kindness fill his heart. Once again, Pip saw how his acts of kindness were coming back to him. As the days went by, more animals came to help Pip. The rabbit he had freed from the thorns brought him berries, the bees gave him sweet honey, and the butterfly visited often to cheer him up with stories of her adventures. Pip realized that because he had always helped others, they were now helping him during the tough winter months. The winter was cold and long, but Pip never felt alone. His friends were always by his side, offering food, shelter, and company. When the snow finally melted and spring returned to the forest, Pip felt stronger than ever. He flew through the forest, singing his cheerful songs, grateful for the lessons he had learned. Pip now knew that kindness is like sunshine, it spreads warmth and light wherever it goes. And just like sunshine, it always comes back to brighten your life when you need it most. The moral of the story: kindness always comes back when you least expect it. Even small acts of kindness can make the world a better place and help you when you are in need.